What's happening, everybody out there? Today, I'm doing a review, but not just any old review. It's a photographic review. It's what I like to look for when I shoot figures in my photography studio. So sit back, relax, and enjoy, because this is gonna be a good one. And stick around to the end of the video where you get to see some fun edits that I did of this character. They came out pretty cool. Here he is right out of the box. And immediately what I like to do when I get a new toy is I just like to start bending him around. I like to get a feel for how the character's body moves and try to start putting him in some poses to start seeing what I can actually do with it when I shoot. Here I start noodling with the character. That's where I just start bending the arms around and seeing how far they can go and what they look like really when I pose the character around. Because for me, it's all about the angles. I don't try to make the character look exactly or do exactly what it does that you know that it does, but I also try to keep it, close to what the character can do. Here's me trying to get him into a flying pose. His head goes back pretty far, which I really like. Here I am just bending him around a little bit more and trying to get him to stand up. To me, one of the most crucial parts of any action figure is getting it to stand up. That's a standard that I live by. If it can't stand up on its own, to me, it's trash. Now, I wanted to see what it would look like with one of his accessories, his cape. These Marvel Legends capes, to me, are what they are. They're very stiff and hindering, especially on a character like this who's got a lot of good articulation. It really takes away from what you can do with the character, but the cape does look good, which is really hard to deny, and it kind of completes the character. He kind of needs that cape. So here I am just trying to pose him and get him to stand and seeing if the cape adds any extra weight or makes it more difficult for the legs to move, things like that. He does come with other accessories, like another set of hands and some Build-A-Figure pieces, but honestly, this isn't one of those type of reviews. I'm not about to switch the hands and heads around and show you what they all look like. Next, I test out the pliability of this cape. I really want to see if I can get it to move or put it in some sort of flowy position, maybe to look more dynamic in certain poses. As you can see, that didn't really work. The more I tried to bend it, the more it wanted to bend back. So I knew I was working with limited articulation back then. So what I tried to do was work with the cape. Bend it, fold it, flex it, try to get much out of it as I could. And look, barely stood up. Look at that. But I got it. Now, let's get down to business. Today, we're going to be shooting with my favorite camera, my Canon Rebel T6. I love this thing. Honestly, at first, I was kind of afraid of it, but I've gotten used to it and I love it. A standard practice of mine is taking some test shots at first, just to see how the light bounces off and just to see exactly what we're going to get out of the character at first. It's a real good guideline for me to see exactly what I want to do when I'm shooting a figure. These are some of the test shots. They came out okay, but they weren't really what I was looking for. So I knew exactly what settings I had to change and what I wanted to do when I got in there. When it comes to action figure photography, I'm a little different than other people. I don't like to just set up one shot. And when I do that, I also don't just like to get one angle. I like to shoot multiple angles. That's why I shoot handheld. I don't like to put the camera on the tripod and just move the figure. I move the camera all around to get the angle that I want, because for me, it's all about the angles. In this round of shooting, I decided to switch up the lights a little bit, and I decided to throw one of the lights on top of the camera. That way I can get a better lighting angle when I shoot it. I view my action figure photography as a sport. I have fun with it, but I also take it seriously. There's a mix and a balance when it comes to that, where I don't want to just goof around, but at the same time, I do want to have fun. At the end of the day, it is a tour. Overall, he's a pretty good action figure. He's got good articulation and he looks really good in the lights being shot. I just wish the cape was a little bit more flowy or had a little bit more move to it so that I could move the legs around more and really get some good shots. But all in all, he's a fine figure for what he is. I don't regret getting him. And as promised, here's some of the edits that I made. If you'd like to see a video on how I edit and what edits I use and what apps I use, be sure to let me know down in the comments and I'll be able to hook that up.